Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is PokeTCG Gamer here, and I'm back with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over my Week 4 match of the NPL Majors, which you're facing Greg, who is the coach of the Los Angeles Clefables. I'm going to continue doing this format I've done the past 2 weeks, where instead of the team builder, or at least the format I did last week, instead of the team builder, I'm going to have the Poke Paste, and then I'm gonna have my opponent's team on the side of that. Now it's not entirely by choice, but just doing it these past 2 weeks, I've grown to just like it better. But my editing software that I use, for some reason, whenever I edit my team building portion, the actual footage of the team builder just it doesn't render right. And I've done a lot of things to fix that. I've worked with Greg trying to fix it. But in the end, I think just doing this is the best way to get around that, and I think it still looks okay. So let me guys know what you think about that. Either way, as you guys can see, Greg's team consists of Landers T, Mega Charizard X, Scizor, Rotom Wash, Scolipede, Celebi, Gardevoir, Stakataka, Raticate Alola, and Toxicroak. And his 2 Z-move users are Landers T and Raticate Alola. So let's get into the team that I have. This week I'm bringing Lycanroc, Dusk, Slowbro, Gyarados, Mega Altaria, Weavile, and Excadrill. A pretty offensive team, but you guys will see some of the sets that I have this week. A few pretty weird sets, but I expect them to do a lot of work in this match. So first up we have Swords Dance, Stone Edge, Accelerock, and Drill Run on our Lycanroc Dust with the Lycanium Z. As far as speed, we are hitting 330 speed, which is outspeeding his base 100s like Mega Charizard X or Celebi. Obviously, something like a +2 Z Stone Edge is going to do a lot to Celebi. I think this is the second week in a row that we're facing a team without resistances to things like or resistance to rock and ground coverage. Last week we played Cheese, and I don't think he had a resistance to that coverage either. Obviously we didn't bring it last week because he had the Mega Steelix, but definitely matched up very, very well in this game. The speed tier allows me to outspeed pretty much everything except for Scolipede, and that's it. But I can hit Scolipede with my priority, so that's pretty nice. Pretty straightforward Lycanroc set. It's something that I can use to, if, like, say, Scolipede or Charizard X, if they're chipped, or if they're at, like, +1 speed, for example, and they're chipped into range of a Accelerock, that's great for me. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Lycanroc. So next up, we have our Slowbro with Protect, Toxic, Ice Beam, and Flamethrower. So this is just pretty much an anti-setup Slowbro. No slack off this week. Protect is to help me live something like a +2 Landers Z Fly into an Earthquake, as long as I'm at full. Obviously just max defense. Toxic, so something like Charizard X can't set up for free on me. Flamethrower, same thing with Scizor, can't set up for free on me. Rotom Wash, Toxic that. Flamethrower hits Scolipede. Ice Beam and Flamethrower hit Gardevoir, hit Celebi. I get Toxic Gardevoir. Stack Attack isn't going to do a ton to me. So there's that. And I can Protect if he wants to, like, Trick Room. I can install Trick Room turns. And Toxicroak with the Dry Skin, it'll be hit okay with Flamethrower. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Slowbro. Just max defense, and here to take on Landers, and it's basically here to not be set up fodder as well. So next up we have Gyarados with a very, very interesting EV spread, could say the least. 248 in HP, 136 plus in attack, 60 in defense, 44 in special attack, but I'm still minus special attack, and 20 in speed. So the 20 in speed was in case something like Scizor wanted to creep a no speed Gyarados or something. The attack investment, I think, I can't remember exactly what it was for. I think it's for Earthquake to Oko no bulk Toxicroak. Not completely sure. I think another thing it did was it guarantees Oko's offensive Landorus after Stealth Rocks, as long as I'm not intimidated. So like if I come in on him and waterfall him, then I will pick up the KO if he's offensive. The 44 minus in special attack is to guarantee a 2 KO on I'm not sure if it's no bulk or like max HP Scizor, but I should be 2 KOing Scizor with Flamethrower unless it's Akaberry. And Roar is just to in case like Mega Charizard X wants to set up on me, and let's say maybe I'm burned and he wants to set up on me, I can roar him out. I get to shuffle things around with rocks, which is nice. So yeah, that is pretty much it for my Gyarados. Intimidate, obviously this is my main switch into his Scizor, and the Papa Berry is there to just get me 50% if once he knocks people at 25. So that's pretty much it for Gyarados. Next up we have Mega Altaria with Roost, Defog, Hyper Voice, and Flamethrower. This is another pretty straightforward set this week, doing the same thing that Gyarados is, just creeping a tiny bit to the same point, just so like if someone's trying to creep Gyarados, a no speed Gyarados, it can't creep my Altaria. So yeah, this is my defogger this week. In some cases I'll be okay with just exchanging rocks, but this is just a very threatening attacker this week as well, as he does not want to switch into Hyper Voice and Flamethrower coverage with most of his team. The HP and defense allows me to always live a banded bullet punch from Scizor, and yeah, the rest just went into my special attack to maximize my offensive power. So yeah, another pretty straightforward set this week with our Altaria. Next up we have Weavile with the black glasses, the Pursuit, the knockoff, the Ice Punch, and the Ice Shard with 80 in HP, 250 or max attack, adamant, 172 speed, which is creeping once again his base 100s like Celebi and what's it called, Celebi and Charizard. So we had the black glasses this week just because I played around with something like Expert Belt, but I don't hit many of his things super effectively, and black glasses just allows me to do a lot with my knockoff, which is my most spammable move versus his team. His one dark resist, or he has 2 dark resists in Raticate, Alola, and Toxicroak. But yeah, knockoff is easily my most spammable move. Pursuit, to pursue something like Celebi, or maybe a Choice Scarf Gardevoir like locked into Psychic. And yeah, Ice Shard for priority, and Ice Punch just to have an ice move that does not miss, pretty much. And I don't need the power of Icicle Crash. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my Weavile. And last up we have is Excadrill right here, with 244 in speed, which is outspeeding, I think, just like adamant max speed, Celebi, or like modest max speed Celebi, or like adamant Mega Charizard X. In the same time, I also outspeed things like Toxicroak with this speed tier. The bulk, I'm actually not exactly sure what it does, but the Chople Berry is to be able to take things like a Scarf Focus Blast from Gardevoir, or a +2 Vacuum Wave from Toxicroak. Stealth Rocks obviously did not have a Stealth Rock setter yet. Very nice versus a team, just chipping things and hitting Mega Charizard X and Scolipede for 25%. Iron Head and Earthquake just for stabs, and if he's like a defensive Landorus and he's like low, trying to sack it off to get the Intimidate, I could potentially Swords Dance and beat it that way. Mold Breaker allows me to hit Rotom Wash with Earthquake, and yeah, that's pretty much it for my Excadrill. So that is the team builder, guys. I will see you guys in the battle. And we're back, guys, for our game versus Greg. As you guys can see, he brought his Gardevoir, his Rotom Wash, his Landorus, his Scizor, his Scolipede, his Toxicroak, and that is it. So he brings a very offensive team. Obviously, something that I expected. That's just how his team is built. He left behind the Mega Charizard X, which I was a little bit surprised about. But with Slowbro and Mega Altaria, and priority with super effective priority with Lycanroc. I could see why I didn't bring it as well. So yeah, we're just gonna start off this match. I actually forget what I lead with, so I'm just going to let this first turn play out. Okay, so I led Altaria. This basically gave me a huge hit on something right away. If he went Scolipede, I might have just flamethrowed, honestly. If he led off with Scizor, I was probably just gonna flamethrower. And everything else I got is Hyper Voice. He leads off with his Landorus. I do not want to take a Z Fly. He would Oko me. If he actually does have that, so I'm just gonna go right out into my Slowbro right here as he just sets up his rocks. So I'm just gonna Toxic here, I think, predicting his Rotom Wash to come in as now I'm just gonna protect, see if he wants the Volt Switch as he sets up a Reflect. Now right here I was pretty positive he wasn't gonna Volt Switch and that was just gonna get up his other screen. So now this is actually really good for me because I can just defog everything away, which is amazing, and I get my Mega off, so I'm no longer weak to the rocks. So he doubles out into his Landorus as I go into my Extra. Now this is a pretty big turn right here. I was very positive he was not going to Earthquake. So I really should have got on my rocks there. But I didn't. I just go into my Slowbro making the safe play as he just knocks off here, getting rid of my leftovers. As I'm just gonna Ice Beam and kill this Landorus off. So now he goes into his Scolipede, and at this point, I stayed in here and I'm just gonna click Flamethrower. I don't really need my Slowbro at this point. Like if I lost it, it's not the biggest deal in the world. He does get up a Spike, which is a little bit annoying, as I'm just gonna Flamethrower, doing a good amount of damage. And now right here, he misses his Mega Horn, which is pretty big, letting my Solbro get another kill. Now he goes into his Rotom Wash. I'm just going to go into my Extra, knowing he's going to Volt Switch. And as you guys can see, he does not have a switch into Earthquake on his team left. So I'm just going to Earthquake as now he goes into his Scizor. I'm just going to go into my Gyarados as he's just going to set up a Swords Dance. So I'm just going to Flamethrower here, doing 69 as he Bug Bites, which this was a huge turn in the game. He Bug Bited, which took away my berry, which obviously was very big. So now I'm in a pretty tough spot. He can pretty freely go into his Gardevoir, I think. Predicting something like a Flamethrower if he wants to keep around the Scizor, which at this point I thought was his win con. Now that he got rid of my Papa Berry and this thing would be very low. So trying to capitalize on that, I make a pretty stupidly aggressive play. And I'm going to go into my Extra. And you guys will see right here, he Bug Bites. And I pretty much lose at this point. Because I'm just going to let this play out. This is just a huge misplay on my end. This was my only check that I had left to his Toxicroak. So I'm just going to go back into my, or no, I just sack off my Extra at this point. I didn't need it now. Now I go into my Gyarados. I'm going to be able to eat a Bullet Punch. I'm just going to Flamethrower here as doing 59. And now I'm just going to Earthquake as he did not Bullet Punch. So now I kind of figured I was screwed because he's got Memento. I'm now at -4 and or -3, and now I'm forced to just Earthquake, doing 41, which is respectable damage. But at this point, I was trying to bank on him being timid. So I'm gonna switch in my Slowbro here, and now I'm just gonna go into my Lycanroc to sack it off. Because if he's timid, the roll with Slowbro is it's actually a roll, but because he is modest, it's not a roll at all. And I could tell he's modest because his Sludge Bomb did 60. So I Cell Rock, he Vacuum Waves. I'm just gonna go into my Altaria. I'm just sacking things off at this point. What I should have done here is just go into Weavile and hope for a crit. Crit Ice Shard to try and I'd get more differential if I actually got the crit. But now it's just Weavile against Toxicroak. I need a crit. because I'm not like icicle plate, and yeah, I do 34 or 35, and he kills me off. So his Toxicroak, obviously it was a huge threat to the team that I brought. Ends up picking up 5 kills. So yeah, if I didn't make that stupid play, I should have just stayed in with my Gyarados, because even if he even if he went to Gardevoir, I could have just sacked off my Slowbro then, and then just went into my Lycanroc and just fired off a Z move, which would have been huge. Because he would have been pretty much forced to sack something, because Vacuum Wave isn't killing or Vacuum. If he went like hard into Toxicroak on the Z Stone Edge, I could just drill run, because I'm gonna be able to live a Vacuum Wave. So yeah, I was very, very disappointed after this game. On the bright side, we are still 3-1 with a plus 12 differential, but we have a very, very tough matchup coming up next week, on which you're facing Merc. So yeah, that's gonna be a very, very good match. Hopefully we can bounce back from this loss. And yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I will see you guys next time. Peace.